Good morning, everyone. Let's jump into some of these indexes. Again, not really much fundamentals or stuff kind of going on. Again, it's the same old. Not much really happened overnight either. Um, but to kind of look at this, GBP. Again, I'd like to see this GBP up to the upside, but again, there's not much. Um, there's really not much of a catalyst for an upside move that's going to make us be sustained to that upside. Again, we're looking at Brexit. We're looking at the EU and the UK. The UK leaving the European Union. And we also do have Mark Carney, the head of the Bank of England, and we can see that traders are increasingly pricing in a UK interest rate cut as a prospect of a disorderly departure from the European Union increases. So this right here is the Bank of England paying attention to Brexit and understanding that there could be a possible no deal Brexit. That's a disorderly departure. There's no deal in place and they leave, and that's where a lot of these businesses could be affected if they leave with a no deal. And that's why we've seen that massive, sell off from the long term right up into here. So we're still kind of waiting to see if things will eventually turn around. The Bank of England did say that they would possibly raise rates during Brexit, but if a no deal Brexit continues to be the likelihood, that you're going to see a change in rhetoric from that central bank. And as we can see already right now, Mark Carney is taking that approach. So a lot of people are possibly pricing in a rate cut, and they are pricing in the fact that the UK might leave without a deal, and that's going to cause a lot of uncertainty. And again, kind of looking at Trump too, trying to talk down the Federal Reserve. Trying to talk them into actually cutting rates. Again, he's been trying to do this for some time now, so it's nothing new. It's just something that we need to pay attention to and kind of see who would Trump want if he's actually trying to pick successors for Jerome Powell. He does speak this week. Jerome Powell does, so checking that out. When is that? So we can see. Let's see when that is. Fed. Pretty sure it was this week. Fed Williams. Fed. It's somewhere in this week, but again, paying attention to what Fed Williams is saying, Mester, and some of these other Federal Reserve chairmen will be important to. Well, that's July 1st. Excuse me. Let's jump to this week. My bad. So it should pop up now. Let's see. So Fed. So we are on Monday, July 8th. So right here. So he does end up speaking tomorrow in the morning, and there's quite a few others speaking. And we're probably going to get some decent insights about the economy, about the China trade talks, and kind of how they're wanting to position themselves. So Tuesday will be kind of a big day, even though there's not much big news on. But paying attention to what these Fed chairmen are saying is going to be pretty important, because again, they do make up the whole Federal Reserve Chair board, and that's going to be some good insight. Looking at this U.S. dollar too, possibly for today. Yeah, this thing is always kind of freezing when we're loading, but I would like to see this dollar trade a little higher, just back into these highs. We're not asking for a break, but maybe even into that 61.8. But I would like to see a little more dollar strength today, and maybe trade up into. Let's see, quick jump to that 1 hour just to get a little better picture. But possibly around that 220. Up in that 61.8 would be nice to see, and then we can kind of take it from there. So let's say somewhere up into. Maybe up even there for the day, trade a little higher up there, get some dollar strength. Eventually, maybe we could push up higher into the 220s. So that's kind of what we'll be looking for. That's what we're going to be paying attention to. CAD. Probably not much. Again, still running. It's been running kind of through that overnight session, and anticipating, if we aren't going to get a slowdown in here, which looks like, maybe we're not, we could end up pushing up into this 228, so up into these highs. So, jumping into some of these currencies, looking at that Euro USD, might see a little more sell side. Again, that's already kind of what we're getting. So seeing a little more sell side to these lows, back to this 100% retracement, around $1.1175. I do think that we can push down into that level. I mean, we're not really asking for much, asking for us to get, somewhere down into, really just down into here on this 112. We'll say 112, or actually 1195. That would give us that dollar strength that we're possibly looking for, and that euro weakness we've been kind of looking at for some time now. Euro GBP, I know we were looking at on the webinar. Again, we're really looking for something with Brexit to actually give us this pound strength, and we're really just not getting it. We're having two currencies weaken at the same time. We're having the euro weaken, we're having the GBP weaken, and that's exactly why we're getting this consolidation at the high. So one of these is going to have to actually release and start driving this currency pair, or they're going to have to start, diverging, and we're going to get that pretty parabolic move. But I do kind of like to see this to the sell side. But again, we're just going to be patient and wait and see what kind of comes of Brexit. Let's see kind of what else. I know we were looking at some possible CHF weakness for the week ahead. We were looking at this Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Let's see that Australian dollar CHF. Let's jump to that index actually first. So CHF consolidated around this consolidation here that we've been looking at. We saw this big massive move out, retraced a little, and we are sitting at this this 232 level, consolidated. I am anticipating maybe a move to the downside to this 61.8, but again, we're going to need to see that sustained risk on into the market, and I just don't know if we're going to get that actual follow through. But if things maybe stay the same again, Iran, if Iran doesn't really start to continue to progress with what they're doing, I do think that maybe we can see some more sell side to this CHF. I know NZD2, I am looking for, I would like to see a little more sell side to this New Zealand dollar before we actually get to the upside. So where would I like to see it down to? Possibly this 61 or the 70, the 7.6. I mean, this is still kind of a little long term, but looking at it for the day ahead, we are at kind of this previous consolidation. Again, had a little correction out of this move, so looking for that, to come up back into here, which we did, and I do think maybe we can start to, maybe we'll trade a little higher into the zone for the week, but overall, I'd like to see this just a little bit lower before we can maybe start looking for some buys. So that's what we'll be watching. Other than that, guys, I mean, it's kind of the same old stuff. It's going to be kind of watching what Iran does. That's going to be very important, and their nuclear deals. So they have been enriching their uranium, and as you can see, checking out the fake news. I'm just kidding, but Trump says Iran. Again, make sure you guys are going to different sites and just kind of doing your diligence with this. I can't really stress that enough. Just make sure that you're looking at that. So Trump says Iran better be careful as Tehran, however you say, increases uranium enrichment. So this is not really the best sign, and it kind of sees that tells me that Trump is obviously paying attention, but if they continue to do what they're doing, and if they start to cause more problems, I just feel like Trump is going to again start to intervene in some way, and you're going to see some risk off start to hit the markets again. So that's what we'll be looking for. But in the meantime, I do think maybe we're going to see a little bit between, maybe a little bit of risk on for the kind of the day ahead. But what's going to be driving factor is this Iran stuff, and again, if there's anything that kind of comes to the surface with the China trade talk. So that's what we'll be watching. No really setups right now, guys. Really just sitting on our hands. We would like to see that Euro GBP, but we're going to be patient and wait to see if we can get that certain pressing catalyst. But again, the slightest optimism around a no deal Brexit or anything with the anything with the pound and Brexit, we would most likely see this Euro GBP to the sell side, and that's what we'll be looking for. So that's it, guys. Shoot me a question. Shoot me some questions if you do have any in Slack, and I'll keep you guys posted on the day ahead. And if there's any setups kind of going forward. So other than that, guys, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.